welcome to Daily Whispers. I'm Kara Bradley, bringing you today a recap on what I have been sharing for the last few weeks now, ways that we get in our own way. And let me tell you, I could continue this, and I'm sure that I will in some capacity, but there are so many ways that we get in our own way. And it's been really rich for me to look into it myself and to share it with you. Most of these have come out of the arena, the mastermind that I run. And these are insights that I continue to hear from the women that I'm working with. Doubt, fear, limiting beliefs. And these are just ways that we create this tension in our being, tension in our lives that literally and physiologically blocks us from being in our power. So highlighting them today, if there are any that really ring true for you, I highly suggest you go back and listen to that message about that particular obstacle or belief or fear or doubt. So here goes. So let's recap what we've been diving into about how we get into our own way. Firstly, I asked the question, which I think is important to ask again. What would you do, say, or how would you be if you weren't in your own way? What would you do? And I immediately thought, well, I would just be more transparent about the work I'm doing, about the business that I'm building. And I talked about that in episode 433, less cryptic, more transparent. Here are some of the other insights from the arena, from the mastermind, and from my own personal investigation of how we get in our own way. Firstly, we try to be too perfect. Trying to be perfect, trying to have it all together and seem like we know what we're doing gets in our own way of taking action. Also, caring what other people think. Pre-qualifying what we think others are going to think about us. Think about what we're doing. Think about what we say. Think about how we act. That gets in our own way. Seeking acknowledgement. Waiting for someone to say thank you, great job, high five, like, follow, friend, whatever. Seeking that external acknowledgement gets in our own way. And then just allowing ourselves or not allowing ourselves to be clumsy, which goes back to perfection, right? Messy is sexy, right? People connect with us when we're not so trying to be so perfect, right? You can smell try on people, can't you? Like when things are just a little bit too put together. Messy is sexy, so allow yourself to be more clumsy. Trying not to fumble gets in our own way. And then there's trying to figure everything out. Well, if I could just figure this out, then I can take action. Right? Remember, there are no ducks and no row. Your ducks are never going to be perfectly in a row. So don't wait for your ducks to be in a row in order to take action. That gets in our own way. And then there's, of course, being uncomfortable. It's going to be uncomfortable, my friend. When we start to step into our power and we start to get to know what that feels like, when we start to recognize what it feels like to be in our power, we're going to recognize, firstly, how uncomfortable it is not being in our power. At the end of the day, our soul wants to be free, fully expressed, fully realized. And so when we start to investigate what that feels like, in our power, out of our power, we start to recognize there's going to be discomfort. There's going to have to be time under tension. If you're not willing to be uncomfortable, then you're going to remain in a cocoon, in a safe space, and not fully realized or expressed. Okay, a few more. Awkward. Being awkward and being willing to be awkward is how we get out of our own way. So it's along the lines of clumsy and trying to be too perfect, but there's that awkwardness. And if we could just allow each other to be more awkward in life, especially when we're starting new things. This is something we deal with a lot in the arena as we branch and launch a new business. We are all in this awkward phase. And we recognize it and we laugh. We allow ourselves to laugh at ourselves in the awkwardness, like that newborn doe. So awkward is coming when you start to step into your power and get out of your own way. And then there's the blame game. When you continue to blame others, situations, parents, environment, demographics, whatever, when you blame something external for your life situation, it is like a boulder standing in your own way. And then there's another one, boy, and we're almost finished here, but being so tied to outcomes. Why isn't this happening? Why aren't they doing what I need them to do? Why is the world political situation stopping me from launching this or being that or saying this? When we are tied to external outcomes, it is again a huge boulder. These are tensions and layers and clouds that stop us from being fully authentic, fully genuine, fully powerful, fully creative. Two more. Your inability to receive, and this is a biggie for me, not trying to do everything myself and not seeking support, not seeking feedback, not being able to just accept help has gotten in my own way, for sure. And then finally asking for feedback. This is a biggie because feedback cuts through disorganization. It cuts through when you're unauthentic. It cuts through so much. So asking for feedback, sweetened or unsweetened, can help you get out of your own way that much faster. All right, I'm listing these all in the show notes if you need to review. There are daily whispers on every single one of these. I want to move on from here. I want to move on and start to really explore stepping into unknown territory, stepping into or onto that shaky ground where we start to fill our being, fill our soul, where we start to really access incredible intelligence and we start to put that out into the world. This is juicy, juicy stuff and I love every second of it. Thank you for being here, for listening, and for getting out of your own way, honestly, in one way or another. I've given you a bunch to play with and to practice with for a very long time. One new thing I want to share with you is that I am going to be doing a monthly reset call for my listeners, for you. And it's free, and you can jump in monthly. So there's Daily Whispers. There's the Weekly Whispers, which is my weekly email. You can jump on that list in the show notes as well. And then I'm going to be doing a monthly reset. So grab the link in the show notes and get yourself registered for the next one. I have a couple of dates set out so that you could put them all in your calendar, and it'll give us a way to actually see each other and to share and to practice together, and for you to also ask live questions. I'm really looking forward to this. I feel like it's time. We have grown in our community, and I'm ready to see you. So grab those in the show notes, and once again, as always, please share this with a friend if you think it can be helpful. Thank you for being here. Have a wonderful, fantastic, powerful day.